All right, guys, welcome Kingdom Masterclass. We're going to talk about marketing today, really what nobody seems to tell you. And there are a lot of people that teach real estate. There's a lot of people that have different programs, etc. When it comes to marketing, 99% of the information that I have found has been absolutely terrible.
Welcome to the Kingdom Podcast. My name's Todd Fleming. I'll be your host alongside Jordan Payne. Our mission is to end financial suffering. So whether you've been following us for a while or this is your first time visiting us, you've made a great decision.
So we're going to talk about the majority of people's mindset when it comes to marketing. Some of it's good, a lot of it's bad. We're going to go over the biggest problem in marketing that I see. We're going to go over primary versus secondary. Most people get this wrong, even guys that have been in this game for 15, 20 years. I'm going to show you guys avatar, go over some copywriting KPIs, and really how to become data-driven. So if that is not what you were expecting, this would be a good time to jump off. If you guys are okay with hearing a little bit about my experience, we'll keep on going. So I am the older of the two gentlemen on the right. That's me and my kid Cullen from last week over in Canton, Ohio. I have been investing in real estate for just over a decade. Many of you know this, but my first 10 months in real estate, I did over $500,000 in wholesale. That was in Montana, a couple markets, Tulsa, Oklahoma. We did Charlotte, North Carolina, and we had a couple separate markets in Ohio, which I now live in Ohio. Directly after that, me and a business partner named Justin went on to build a multi-million-dollar portfolio. We did that in just under 2 years, mainly multifamily. Did that using absolutely none of our own money. So that's kind of our claim to fame. Worked with literally 10,000 plus clients. I've studied copywriting for the majority of my adult life. I have had campaigns, emails, and different marketing campaigns that have generated over 500,000. I've done marketing for really big REI brands. If I told you who they were, you would probably be a little bit bummed out because you might have thought that they would know this stuff, but they didn't. So I've worked with some of the big boys out there and really helped them craft their marketing and their messaging. And I've done over 5,000 copywriting campaigns, both my own personal campaigns and then campaigns with students and people I've worked with. So that's a little bit of who I am and kind of the standpoint that I'm coming from as we go through this over the next 20, 25 minutes. So guys, most people that we talk to, and we do get the honor of talking to hundreds of people a month, people that are trying to get started, people that have an existing business, people that are scaling their business. Most people I talk to, number one problem that they have is marketing. So they say, I can't find, and it's either motivated sellers or buyers. This would apply to wholesaling. This would apply to buying and holding, fixing and flipping, short-term rentals like Airbnb. This applies to everybody. I can't find blank. Man, Jordan, I've been trying and I cannot come up with blank. So my responses and kind of the questions that I like to ask people, which I'll ask you guys as well as we go through this, is first and foremost, how long have you been marketing? A day, a week, a month, a year? How long have you been at it? Number two is, where did you study marketing? Seriously, where did you actually study marketing? What marketing training have you gone through? How many campaigns have you ran? What KPIs can you show me? What do you have? What data? How many different split tests have you done? How many per campaign? Who is your avatar? And how long did it take you to create your avatar and your copywriting? So a lot of times the question or the statement that people are making, it does not align with these questions that I'm asking. Well, Jordan, I started marketing a month ago. Well, of course you're not going to be good at it. Well, Jordan, I've never studied marketing. Okay, well, what did you expect? Was it a guru that just said, hey, send out a ridiculous yellow letter with a blanket statement? and you expected that to work, you've gone through no marketing training. You've invested $0 into your business to learn how to market, but you expect the marketing department of your business to succeed. It's a little bit ridiculous. So these are the questions that we're going to be answering and talking about a little bit, as well as my top ways and tactics when it comes to marketing and when to get everything, or how to get everything really rolling. So let's dive right in, guys. So again, the problem with most people is that they are in real estate, but they're not in marketing. And they've learned marketing from real estate investors, not marketers. So one more time, most people are in real estate, not marketing. And they learned marketing from real estate investors, not marketers. Does that make sense? So if you learned marketing from somebody that wasn't a marketer, yeah, maybe they do really good. Maybe they don't. Maybe they absolutely crush it, and maybe they don't. But where did they learn marketing from? So it's a little bit like the real estate world's a little bit like multi-level marketing. I don't know if you guys notice this, but a lot of the same guys are in the same masterminds. A lot of people have the same approach. A lot of people talk about the same things. So if you go all the way up to the top, who taught all of these investors how to market? Was it somebody in real estate or somebody in marketing? Does that make sense? So if you want to succeed at something and you want to truly excel at a field in your business, it's important that you learn that field and that trait from somebody that's actually in marketing. Just like if you wanted to learn negotiating or sales, you'd want to learn from somebody that's actually in sales and marketing, right? So let's keep on going here, guys. But that is the number one problem that I am seeing with most people. Biggest misconceptions. And I hear this on a daily basis. And none of these are actually true. Number one, marketing is hard. Marketing is not hard. It's always expensive. Motivated sellers are difficult to find. I have to cold call, cold text, bandit sign, bug people, scam people, lowball people, trick people. If any of that is true, or if that is how you are operating your business, we probably won't get along very well. Then lastly, is there's so much competition. There are a lot of people investing in real estate. There are a lot of real estate agents. There are probably even more wholesalers, people buying and holding, fixing and flipping. So is there too much competition, or is there too much noise? There's a difference. I've gone out and I've taught all of my competitors exactly what I do, and none of them have done it. So there's a lot of noise out there, but that does not mean that that is competition. You think of a company, I want you to think like wherever you live locally. I want you to think of just this phenomenal company. It could be a restaurant, a clothing store, whatever. They stand out because of something, even though there's probably other people in the industry, right? So they're doing something. So it's not competition, it's clarity. So it's important for you guys to understand the difference here. So if you guys are taking notes, I want you to write down primary and secondary. This is the number one biggest mistake that I am seeing people make right now in 2022. So understanding the difference between primary marketing and secondary. Primary has to be paid. So this is something like direct mail, a text campaign, could potentially be like ringless voicemails, etc. It has to be paid. And you guys need to have some sort of a primary strategy. It does not mean you have to spend thousands of dollars a month. That's not what I'm not here to say you have to spend X amount of dollars. But you do need something where you can put in X amount and get X amount back. So as an example, if I put in $1, and for every dollar I put in, I return $1.80, I am thrilled. Do the math on that. I would be through the moon. Versus secondary, which is organic or could even be considered free. We gotta have both. We can't just have one. We have to diversify a little bit. But most people have only a secondary strategy and they expect an ROI. It's a little bit like I hear people, hey man, I want to be a real estate investor, but I don't want to invest. Okay, are you really a real estate investor? What are you investing? Well, just my time. That's fine. But most investors put in a dollar amount and they get a return on their money, right? So you need to have something primary. So with that being said, everything that I do is measured based on my cost to acquire a customer. If it costs me $680 and I acquire a $9,000 customer, I win. That's scalable. So again, for anybody taking notes, primary is going to be paid and measured. You put $1 in, and let's say you get $1.80 back. Secondary is organic and free. You need to have both if you are going to succeed. Make sense? All right, got a couple head nods. We'll keep on going here, guys. So you might be wondering why Megan Fox. She's my girlfriend. Don't tell my wife. Megan Fox. We have a nun and we have an elderly lady. You might be wondering why these three women are on the screen when we're talking about marketing. You guys ready for the ninja tactics here? All right. So keep that picture in your head as we continue on here. So I'm going to go over the top 3 most important elements in marketing. Bar none, this is what I've seen day in and day out with literally thousands of people that I've worked with. So again, if you're taking notes, the 3rd most important element is in marketing is avatar. Guys, before I spend a dime, before I send out any marketing, I spend at least an hour building my avatar. That might sound like an exaggeration. I literally time myself and I make sure that I spend 60 minutes building my avatar. So questions you can ask yourself is, who am I talking to? What do I know about them? What are they afraid of? How old are they? I have an age for my avatar. What bad information do they currently have? Who do they get advice from? What motivates them? So I have a list of all of these questions and I spend 60 minutes. I put a timer on my phone for 60 minutes and I write down 50, 80, 100, 150 points of information and data on an avatar. First time you do this, it's going to be really, really weird. It's going to be uncomfortable and you're going to be like, I don't know what they think. I don't know what they're afraid of. Well, how are you going to market to them? Do you think that, let's use like Chipotle or like Chick-fil-A. Do you think that they don't know who their avatar is? You think they haven't figured that out? Well, of course they have, right? So if you want to figure out your market and you want to figure out how to get in front of the right people and craft the right message for them, you need to know who you're talking to. Guys, I swear, if I see another yellow letter that says I buy houses cash, bullet point, bullet point, bullet point, I'm gonna throw up. How long is that? You guys know that copywriting is 30 years old. You guys I'm gonna get all fired up over here. So think back to the image of the 3 women. Taylor, maybe we can put that up really quick. So my question for you is, would you speak to these 3 women the same way? Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Okay. So it's got to be the same with our marketing. I would not speak to somebody in probate the same way I would speak to somebody in pre-foreclosure. I would not talk to a tired landlord the same way I would talk to somebody that maybe has a code violation. So if we wouldn't talk to these 3 ladies the same way, we can't market the same way. I see so many people that send out the same letter to every single niche, every single avatar, as if they're the same people, and they're not. We'll continue here, but that was my little visual illustration. Go back up just a hair. I think I missed the last couple points there. Yeah. So most real estate investors have one message. They send it out to everybody. We can't do that. The more customized you're going to get, the better result. I have campaigns that I have done where I reach out to 100 people with really well-written copywriting, a good avatar, and it will outperform a mass mailer of 1,000. So we want to be sniper here. We want to be direct with our language. Okay, we'll keep on moving here. So that leads us right into copywriting. So if you guys are taking notes, copywriting is the second most important element. If your messaging is so important and the key to marketing, how come nobody studies it? So again, we own a business. We claim to be a business owner. I consider every single one of you guys, either watching live or watching the replay, I consider you a business owner. So if marketing is so important, why don't we invest into learning that? I've got book after book. I've done course after course. I've hired mentors. I've had people review my copywriting and all of this stuff just to make me better. So once we have that avatar that we just talked about, we can start to create a message to that avatar. So this really should take a little bit of time, and you should speak to one person. So sometimes, I know this sounds weird, and this, hopefully you guys don't go tell your friends about that weird real estate guy, but I will literally find a picture on Google. Like, let's just say tired landlord. I will literally like Google image tired landlord or elderly person or something like that. I will grab a picture and I will write a letter to that person. It doesn't matter what the picture is. It doesn't matter one bit. I just need to speak to one person. Or maybe I've met a tired landlord. I'll put that picture in my head. Maybe I've met somebody in pre-foreclosure. So here's an example. I typed this up very quickly, but here's an example of something that I have sent out to people that were in probate. So understand and hear how this is radically different, and hear how this feels like I'm just talking to a best friend. I'm just talking to somebody I know. Mrs. Johnson, I will never forget when my grandfather died. It wrecked my entire family. There was a lot of confusion about what to do. Nobody really tells you that in school, how to deal with the aftermath of a loss. One of the biggest hurdles my family faced was what to do with the house. Grandpa was the handyman, and after he passed, things kind of got untouched. So this experience is one of the reasons why I've dedicated myself to helping people through some of the chaos. If you need help at all getting some different options on your house without having to deal with any upkeep, any repairs, please let me know. My cell phone is blank, blank, blank. Is that going to be more effective than I buy houses cash? Bullet point, bullet point, bullet point. I shouldn't swear on this. Bullet point, bullet point, bullet point, BS. This is effective. I have sent this out and I have people that have called me crying saying, man, I don't know what to do. First and foremost, is there anything I can help you with outside of real estate? Can I send a couple guys over to help you move anything? Do you need help with anything? Real estate's the last item, but is there anything else I can help you with? This is what gets deals done, and this is how we truly serve people. Amen? Let's keep on going. The last thing that I want to go over really quick, because I don't want to bore you guys to death and I don't want to keep you all day. These are meant to be pretty quick. I shouldn't say quick. They're meant to be like really specific things that you guys can put into action immediately that will immediately get you a result. I guarantee you, if you work on your avatar, spend an hour, if you craft a message directly to one person, and then number 3, which is going to be KPI and split testing, if you're taking notes, guarantee if you work on these 3 things, you can radically change your marketing. So KPI key performance indicator, and split testing. Split testing, in case you do not know, is when you basically take two pieces of marketing and they go head to head. So it's like a head-to-head, hand-to-hand combat. Who's going to win? I do this constantly. I've done it with you guys. You guys ever notice I send the exact same email with two different headlines? No? You guys didn't realize that? I want to see who opens what email, right? So that's called split testing. So guys, the data steers the ship. It tells us where to go. It tells us when to pivot. What do we alter? What do we start? What do we stop? What do we add? What do we decrease? What do we double down on? 100% of my decisions are based on data. So people ask me, hey man, should I do blank? What's the data? Should I do cold calling or text messaging? What's the data? Should I do ringless voicemail or direct mail? What's the data? Facebook or Google pay-per-click? What's the data? I don't have any data. Well, you shouldn't do anything yet. Let's slow down. Let's pump the brakes. Let's do something that I call a micro campaign. Another good one to write down. Micro campaign. It's exactly what it sounds like. It is a small campaign that is very inexpensive, and I'm only using it to get data. I know people that have jumped in and they've done a $5,000 campaign here, and then a $10,000 campaign here, and they signed up for this guy that was an expert on Google pay-per-click. It was $5,000 to get started, and it was $3,000 a month without a single point of data. How is that being good stewards of our money? How does that make any sense? I will spend $100, maybe $250, and I will get some data. My marketing sucks. Well, what's the data? I have no data. That's why your marketing sucks. Who's your avatar? I have no avatar. Well, that's why your messaging sucks. Show me your copywriting. I buy houses cash, bullet point, bullet point, bullet point. Oh my goodness. My goodness. So guys, we got to know our cost to acquire a customer. We got to know our KPIs. We got to split test. We got to run the best campaigns out of the split testing. So I will take, as a quick example here, I will take probate and I will send, I do it normally within a niche. So I will go probate direct mail. I will send out 2 different types of direct mail. Make sense? And then I'll do maybe texting, 2 different types of text messages, and I will measure the data. Everybody following me here? Ringless voicemail. I might do a male voice, and I might have Taylor record a female voice for me. Guess which one performs better? The female voice. Why? I don't know, because I sound like I'm a jerk. Couldn't tell you. Like, I've had my wife record voicemails that I've sent out, and they've way outperformed. And people call me and they're like, hey, is Julia there? I'm like, no, I'm Jordan. You can talk to Jordan. Nah, is Julia there? Ah, crap. All right, babe, I'll walk you through this. Ask them if they have the house that they want to, like, the whole thing. So I know I'm oversimplifying this, but for it being so darn simple, no one does it. No one does it. No one's teaching this stuff. It's just, man, just mass offer everybody. So guys, I've done literally over 500 different campaigns with different copywriting and avatars. I always keep the best performers and I constantly try new angles. I fail more times than most people. Like, out of those 500, I bet I've had 300 that have failed. Guarantee it. I've had 300 that failed. But hey, I've had some ones that, you know, I've had marketing campaigns that have made me 70, 80, 90, $100,000. I've had campaigns that have accumulated over $500,000. And I keep on running that campaign, and I might switch something a little bit, but man, if it's working, why change something? A lot of people are like, man, Jordan, I heard about the latest and greatest blank. Was what you're doing now working? Well, yeah. Leave it. Leave it. Don't touch it. So guys, let's go over the data that I collect. You guys can, I'll send you a replay, but you guys can screenshot this if you want. We'll leave it up here just for a second. So what we're looking for. Number one, my cost per unit. This could be a call, a text, a voicemail, a mailer. It could be any one of those things. It's a unit. So if I did 500 calls, that'd be 500 units. If I did 500 text messages, 500 units, right? So what was my cost per unit? My second is cost per response. To clarify, this is cost per positive response. I do not count the guy that tells me, I'm going to go to hell, never call me again, I'm going to find you. Those don't count. Positive response. Positive response can be, yes, I'm interested. I might be interested, but maybe not right now. Can you follow up with me in a couple of weeks or a couple of months? Those three are positive responses. Out of those positive responses, what was my cost per appointment? Appointment typically means that I go over to the house. Okay. I go look at the property or I go meet the seller. Cost per offer. I do not make an offer on everything. So out of the appointments that I went on, how many offers did I make? What was my cost per offer? Second to the bottom is cost per contract. Out of the offers that I made, how many contracts did I get? Then my last metric is my cost to close. What was my cost to acquire a customer? It's a quick example. This is random math. This is not an actual campaign. This is just an example. Let's say you had 500 and it was $1 per, right? Cost per unit would be $1 per. Let's say you got 25 responses. Cost per response would be $20 if it cost $500 for the campaign. Cost per appointment, if you went on 7, your cost per appointment would be 71. Let's say you made 4 offers, your cost per offer would be 125. Let's say you got 2 contracts, it would be cost per contract 250. Offer and contract. Cost per offer would be 250. If both of them accepted, your cost per contract would also be 250. Cost per close, say one of them closed, it'd be 500. So 500 to acquire a customer. Let's say it's a $9,000 client. Is that a winning campaign? Can you scale that? Could you take $8,000 and put it in your bank account and $1,000 and do 2 more of these campaigns? Absolutely. Does that guarantee you're going to get 2 more deals? No, but that's the data we're looking for. The campaign could also suck. Maybe you run it again. Big mistake people make is they run a campaign one time. Jordan, it didn't work. Well, how many times did you do it? Once. How many did you send out? 5. My goodness. Well, of course it didn't work out. So it might suck and you might run it again. Data comes back similar. Okay, we're starting to see a little bit of a trend here. Maybe we'll split test a little bit of a different approach, right? So often people blame the list. I got a bad list. Maybe it's your avatar. Maybe your copywriting was off. You can't expect to find all these motivated sellers with subpar marketing and subpar copywriting. Does that make sense? All right, if you want to screenshot it, that's your last chance. Keeping Taylor busy over there, the scrolling. Cool, I'll send out a replay so you guys can catch it again. So guys, I'm going to end with this. If you guys have questions, start typing them in the chat now. I'm going to go through a couple things here and then we're gonna let you go. So just a quick recap. Most people are in real estate, not marketing, and then they wonder why their marketing is not good. Most people underestimate the difference between primary marketing and secondary. Avatars make or break messaging. Copywriting is vital to succeed in real estate. KPIs tell you what to do, when to pivot, when to increase or cancel a campaign. Your cost to acquire a customer is all that matters. It could cost you $2,500, $4,000, $5,000. It could cost you whatever, but if you're acquiring a customer that's $7,000, you win. You can scale that. All right, guys. So normally when we do these, a lot of people want help. So briefly here, there's really three types of people that we run into. First person really needs help. Second person really, they want help. And the third person needs, wants, and is really ready to invest in some help. If you're all three, I would love to continue the conversation and work with you guys alongside our phenomenal team. If that's not you, it's not a big deal. So we do have a fun opportunity for you guys today that is under $1,000. If that is not appealing, this would be, I'm going to hit some questions actually. So if you guys want to stick around, you can. But I'm going to talk about what we're offering for you guys today that are looking for more help with your marketing, your messaging, scaling, building a team, all of that. So this is what we got going on, guys. We'll scroll down here just a second and we'll get it going. So we've got a package that we are offering right now. It is a phenomenal Wholesale 101 training from Todd Fleming. So it's really designed to not only get you your first deal, but to allow you to actually scale your business to the point of 1, 2, 3, 4 deals a month. So this is an entire academy on how to do this. Second up, we have deal analysis. So this is going to apply to fix and flip, wholesale, and buy and hold. So this is an academy that I produced where I go over my entire spreadsheet, how I analyze deals, how I know exactly what to offer on every single deal that I talk to. I do case studies on an 8 unit that I got using none of my own money, a 22 unit that I got using none of my own money. There's about 20 other case studies where I show you guys what was the offer, how did I accomplish it without any of my own money, etc. And then the third one is going to be 100% marketing based. So this is an academy that I put together recently. It's not outdated. This is like a couple months ago. And this is 100% geared towards avatar, copywriting, messaging. Should we do paid? Should we do organic? I talk about my top 22 ways to do organic marketing, how I'm doing deals every single month without spending a penny on marketing, and then how I run my paid campaigns and what is the best ROI that I'm getting. So that is the third thing. And as a bonus, you guys are getting lifetime access to the Kingdom Real Estate. Kingdom Real Estate is a phenomenal deal-making community. Everybody's pushing for the same thing. There's no scam, there's no spam. We support each other. We do deals together. We do JV deals constantly. And you guys are going to get lifetime access to all of this. If you have questions, this is my personal phone number. So again, screenshot it or write it down. I'm going to type it in the chat as well. And then Taylor, do we have that link for?
Yes, I just dropped it, but I will drop it again.
Perfect. And we can jump out of screen share. I'm going to answer some questions for you guys. But if you do have, and then what's included, what do I get? Anything like that, text me. I'm going to have my phone on me all day. I will literally respond to you. If you guys are ready to go and you've seen enough, Taylor put a link in there for the offer that we just talked about. Let me get some questions. If you guys have anything last second, throw it in there. Let's make sure we get some people some clarity today. Al, we taped it. I'll send it to you. It's a recommendation on hiring for marketing, as is who or where to hire. So yes, we have people that we have recommended. We have people in-house that are on our staff that are learned from me over the past decade that are phenomenal. But I also want you to know what you're doing. You cannot teach somebody what you do not know. Jordan, I hired a bunch of cold callers. How many cold calls have you done? 12. How are you going to teach that team that you just spent your money on to do something that you've never done? Have you ever done a deal? Well, no. Let's do a deal. Why don't you record that phone call, create some curriculum, and then hire a team and teach them how to do it? Yeah, but Cody Sperber or whoever told me to do it this way. I understand that, but if you don't know how to do it, how can you teach somebody else? What if they're doing it wrong and you don't know how to do it, so you don't know that they're doing it wrong? Because I have literally spent tens of thousands of dollars hiring people to do something, and I didn't understand it enough to know that they were butchering it. We recently got rid of our Facebook team. We recently got rid of our YouTube team. We recently have fired team members. Cost us a lot of money. So I'd like to see you guys at least have a decent understanding of this, and then we'll show you, hey, here's how you hire a team. Now, if you end up like just hiring our team, there's a little bit of an advantage there. They're learning it the correct way, but still you've got to know a little bit of this yourself. Great question. I think that was from Bobby. Leanne, do you have any books for reference material you would recommend? Yeah. On copywriting specifically, it is called How to Write Copy That Sells. And it is by, I believe, Ray Edwards. Let me just pull it up. It is by Ray Edwards. How to Write Copy That Sells. It is a blue book. That's one of my favorites. I have a bunch of them, but that one seems to be a little bit more relevant. Some of them were written. Hey, there we go on the screen. On the screen. One more time, Jacob. Perfect. Mr. Garza. How much of this is covered in Ascension? All of it, because I'm in Ascension, because I own the company. Any questions, my friend, let me know. A lot of it is covered in Ascension. If you're asking about the offer specifically for $997, if you're in Ascension, you have access to that as well. Theron, correct. Yeah, what do you consider a micro campaign? Size by dollar, cent, or action taken? It varies a little bit by market, you guys. So if you live in a massive market, let's say Dallas, Texas, your micro might be a little more macro than my micro. Oh man, that was hard to say. So massive market like LA, New York, Dallas, some of these you're going to have to go a little bit bigger. I would maybe try like 500 units. That would be like direct mail, text messages, voice messages, etc. If you are in a smaller market, you can probably get away with between 100 and 250 units. And the cost on that will depend on what type of marketing you're doing. Text message is going to be different costs than direct mail. So you'll be able to do the math really quickly. If you guys jump on any of the popular websites, they'll tell you what the cost per is. See you in July, dude. We're a couple weeks away. For everybody else, we invited a bunch of people over to our office in Taylor, 3 weeks, 2 weeks?
3 weeks.
Should probably put that on my calendar.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, well, we got a bunch of awesome people coming over to the office to spend 3 days with us. Guys, that's all I've got. I'd love to work with you. I'd love to help you. If you have any questions, again, that number is my number. Text me. When I say questions, I don't mean, hey man, what do you think about this copywriting? I'm talking about questions about working with us and questions on if you actually need some help. Appreciate you guys. We will be back next week at 12 p.m. Eastern. we're going to announce the topic for that. It'll either be myself or probably Todd Fleming. But I appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to you soon.
If you liked what you just heard, great. We would love to chat with you more and see if you're a great fit for our community. You can do that by emailing us at admin@thekingdomrealestate.com, or you can check the description below to book a call with us. Have a day.